Oh, we're live. Awesome. We got no viewers, but we're live. So welcome to our stream. We are the Canadian Odd Squad. We are the seekers of truth and the exposers of corruption and injustice. That's who we are. That's what we do. I'm here with Jason, the Cosmic Truth Authority, and Kekves from Fighting Hate 101. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Awkward silence.
No, polite silence. You should have read the comments about me last time.
Well, no, I think your voice is as important as ours. I wanted to hear what you had to say, and you weren't prepared to kind of get into it at the point. And I didn't know that because we didn't really have a chance to talk. Hi, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Okay. So no, I know. I felt bad because that one stream you made some really good points at the end, and we really didn't get to address anything because I had to go. So I hope today we can kind of get through this. But we have to respect each other too, like not to interrupt each other, like let each other talk. And
yes,
I find there's too much people jumping in and takes away from that moment, right? The momentum of someone when they're talking, they lose momentum, and then we often don't hear what they originally wanted to say. So I just like to show us all to show that same mutual respect and just let each other talk, and then we'll have our say, right? Agreed? Kevin's still a jackass.
Well, I in my mind, everybody should have, like, there's three of us plus a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we should be capable of making sure that everybody gets their turn.
I agree. Be courteous.
Yeah. And basically, so if we can, as we improve at this, right, we will pick up the flow where, okay, Jason's talking, I'm going to shut up and listen, and then when he's done, no one's going to talk over me.
Yeah.
That having been said, can I talk?
You got the floor, Kek.
Okay. I think we just agreed, nod if I'm right, but we just agreed that what we're going to do is we're going to start doing this every week. We're going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Kevin J. Johnson has his show. We're going to make one that's better.
Yeah.
With less money.
Yeah. Well, we don't need 200 grand a year.
No. Well, yeah. When what's her name comes up, when Anne shows up, we'll bring something up there that I don't know if she's talked to you about. But one of the things that I think is crucially important, and I hope you both agree with me, is we all have our own objectives. Jason, it's very important to me that we get the rallies announced so that when people tuning in, will, if nothing else, be reminded to get their ass out there.
Yeah.
And the Jason likes to do the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming that we're on the.
We don't need this every week.
5 minutes. 2 to 5 minutes every week. Is that reasonable?
That's reasonable. Yeah.
All right. Today's live stream. Anne's not here yet, and I think we just decided we're going to do part 2, but we're going to talk her into being back here next week. Am I right?
Well, I think she'll show up. She just didn't know what time the stream was, and she might.
Oh, I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just saying she's not here. Let's talk about her.
Don't be so pushy. Looking this good doesn't just come easy, sweetheart.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. And okay, so basically, this live stream is going to be our last rough edited attempt before we start something official next week. Is that am I on? Yeah. Okay. So next week, the topic is going to be part 2 of our Kevin J. Johnson discussion.
Okay.
I apologized last week that I didn't do my homework. Now I'm apologizing that I have, because nothing she gave me is evidence of anything. And I went through everything.
What did she send you?
We'll address that next week. What
did she send you?
Well, for one, I'm trying to figure out how to put a picture up on in the comments, there was the original picture that she kind of waved in front. See, she came out and she waved a bunch of papers in front of in front of the screen, right? Like what I was hoping was that we would contact her. She would give me what she had. I would look at it, and then we would have a discussion based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, she came on unexpected, waved a bunch of papers in front of the screen, and I'm supposed to address that. So she sent me a couple of videos and some documentation that I've gone through. I've watched your video, and oh boy, Elle, we have a problem with that. Well, but like you said, it makes for good entertainment. What?
Yeah. Bring it. Bring it. Don't sing it.
Oh no, it ties into her
which
what
video
she gave
are you
me.
talking about? The Chris Sky one or the Kevin Johnson one?
No, the most recent one, which I figured you guys would be talking about how Kevin Johnson and Derek and Ed and that other guy, they all watched our stream.
Yeah.
And if you want, yeah, and I think that we can. The difference between them and us is that I think we can make a better team.
Well, I think we have the chemistry because we all have different views on different matters.
But we have one common thread.
What's that?
We have one common thread between our three channels.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But
what is that thread?
Truth, freedom,
health,
and
right,
and oh my God! If I were to go to Jason's channel or your channel or my channel, is it fair to assume that all of our subscribers love this country?
Yeah, of course.
Now, when we start the show,
love this country. If they didn't love this country, they'd be watching.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we tend to market ourselves towards freedom-loving patriots.
Yeah.
So we were going to come up with a name for the channel or for our show. You suggested the Odd Squad.
Yeah.
How does this work, Ellie? Because I understand why you say we're the Odd Squad. We're kind of on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does the name Outside Patriots sound to you?
Because the word patriots really been ruined because the wrong people are claiming to be patriots for the wrong reasons.
No, us, aren't we?
But the point is I don't even want to be associated with that word because it's been so fucked up. It's almost a catchphrase now. Same with freedom, same with rights, same with all these words are now just ruined because they're catchphrases. When people hear them now, they're triggered and they think bullshit or being scammed.
Canadian outsiders?
Or just yeah. You don't want to steal. Yeah, I guess.
Where are we stealing from?
It's so long in the title, right?
How about the purebloods?
I'm not jabbed. Are you jabbed, Jason?
That would make you a pureblood.
No, I'm thinking of getting jabbed the more I listen to you guys. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and for the record, my vaccination status is none of your business.
That's it, eh? Tell that to the football game tonight.
Well, I'm not jabbed, Trudeau. Fuck you. Mark Zuckerberg, fuck you too.
So we still don't have a name.
I think the Odd Squad, but if you want to go with Canadian Patriots or outside,
yeah, because
outside Patriot,
Canadian Outsiders is actually better. I think
Canadian Outside. Cosmic, do you have anything to add? Any suggestions for a name?
Well, I understand Ellie's reservation about and saying about freedom and patriotism that it's been thrown around, but that's why we're here to do this podcast at times. I think to clarify that we are talking about freedom at times and trying to represent at times what a Canadian patriot is by discussing these important issues. So I think we'll always represent patriotism and freedom appropriately. We can use that in a title if we want, but it's up to you guys. Totally go for it.
My status
May I?
is shove it. Right on. And Anne is here.
Okay, the other. Hey, Ann.
Hello, Anne. Welcome to the stream.
The other thing we agreed on, correct me if I'm wrong, but the other thing we agreed on is that our show is going to be very engaged with the audience. Am I wrong there?
Well, we're not going to be like, like the Five or anything, or like what's that? Stupid talk for the daytime.
Give me just a second, guys. Somebody.
We're not going to be like them.
I'm not familiar with the Five. Is that a Fox News thing?
Yeah, I think it's Fox, and then there's another one with Whoopi Goldberg in it. What's that called again?
Oh, The View.
The View. Yeah, we're not. Gonna
You're
like
Joy Behar, Cosmic's Whoopi Goldberg, and I'm McCain.
She left the show.
Yeah, well,
in tears, you.
But yeah, like she's there to kind of balance out, right?
Well, she was there to balance out. Now she's gone.
Yeah.
I think they replaced her with someone else.
I just had to get my door. Somebody was at my door, guys.
Kevin J. Johnson, probably. He's
yeah, he's probably sending.
Actually, it was a package.
Okay, now as far as I understand it, are you telling me that the Five or the View
we're competing with the View, so we gotta be better than them. We're competing with mainstream morons. We have to be better. I think with the Odd Squad. That's what I think.
Can there be a maple leaf in our logo?
Huh?
If we went the Odd Squad, but we had a maple leaf in our logo.
Of course.
Okay. Like in other words, I don't understand this hang up with the Patriot thing. But
because the word has been ruined. It's been used by people like Chris Sky and Kevin Johnson and them who have been scamming and stealing. And
Adolf Hitler. Oh, sorry.
And no.
Adolf Hitler drank water.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Just so long as you know, water.
I haven't drank water ever since. Just when I found that out, that was it. I quit drinking water.
You quit water? So just because other people do things is what I'm saying, right? I mean,
but you know what, Cac? When people hear the word patriot and freedom and shit, it triggers them to believe that we're con scammers and we're just, we're using those words, throwing them around like Antifa throws around racist and misogynist and all this other crap. So I don't want that name in the title anyway of the show. You can talk about it all you like.
Well, no, I think we came to an agreement. Use the name Odd Squad, but we'll have a Canadian flag and
I'll make a logo.
That would be awesome.
To a Canadian flag.
which brings me to my next step is if we're going to do this, it's going to be an hour show, and I'd like to edit in for at least mine and Cosmic's channels. We're going to edit in intro music, like a little intro tag, like you do. Like you love to do them for your videos. I love to do them for mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're on board with that.
Yeah.
Do you want to both make one and see which one is better?
Oh, well, you guys go ahead. I like I said, I just do goofy ones. I do.
Oh, I'll go ahead and do it. I just know that you love to do it for your videos. You love to do your little intros.
Yeah, my intros. I spend a lot of time doing those.
Okay.
Look,
I'll tell you what. I'll do one. I'll get you to send me a logo. I'll make an intro out of it.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
So what's the topic today, guys?
Today's topic is putting it off till next week.
Screw you, Keck.
No, we don't have time. We don't have time. You gave me a mountain of bullshit, and there's no way in hell. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I've gone through. I watched all 3 of your videos. I've looked at the 2 pictures you've had. I have done my homework. I am ready to go today. But at the end of the day,
let's go.
But at the end of the day, we don't even know what our show is going to be yet. We don't know what the following show is.
Ellie, this is where I'm going to intervene. You said you wanted to have a debate today. We're debating. Let's go, Keck.
Oh boy. Oh,
that's
boy.
right.
Ding ding.
Do you know how to? Okay, I was having problems when we started. Do you know how to send pictures, or at least put a picture in the comments?
Who, me?
Yes.
No. Why?
Because I need Elle to see a picture.
What picture? Elle's
And
got all
I'm
my
so bad with
pictures.
technology. I don't want to accidentally kick myself out of the chat room.
But Elle's got all my pictures. I've sent Ellie everything.
So what are you referring to, Kak? I can.
You sent her everything?
You damn right I sent Elle everything. She has
Okay, no.
Delbert,
Okay,
she has
then
Dawson Creek, she has everything.
I had it before you did, Kak.
Now, just before we went live, Elle, you said that you don't want us to be about this, or you don't want us to be about that.
No, I want to
It's
be
my
factual.
understanding that the reason why Cosmic is so quiet right now, and why he was quiet last week, is because we veered into a topic that isn't really his area of knowledge.
Okay.
But Jason's got some of my stuff too. I've sent him things.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying when we went live, Jason, like, I did all the talking, and Jason just kind of sat there.
Okay, Jason, speak up.
Well, let's give him his 3 to 5 minutes now for the constitution.
Come on, Jason.
3 to 5 minutes about what?
I know you've got
Right.
something to say, Cosmic. Let's go.
Well, the great John Diefenbaker, 1961, of course, signed the Canadian Bill of Rights into law. And he says, right, I am a Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship in my own way, free to stand for what I think is right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, or free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind. Justin Trudeau, Mr. Diva Boy, you should be listening to this, you asshole. Excuse my language. But really.
Excuse your language. I was expecting him to say something about that.
Well, yeah, thanks for letting me plug that in. Again, the Canadian Bill of Rights, as I say at the top of my shirt, and again, this is why we're going to end a lot of this corruption in part, and people like you. It says protects or recognizes and protects your human rights and fundamental freedoms. Again, recognizes they're already there. They come to us from God, and we don't need people coming up to charter rights and freedoms.
The Bill of Rights bully. I heard so from Stefanos and Kevin Johnson that you're a bully.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it was actually Ed.
Ed
Janusek who said it. Yeah, and Stefanos both said it, that you were a bully.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Ed, yeah, as far as I recollect, Ed kept saying I was a bully, and Stefano was more on the kick that I'm jealous of Chris Sky, his workout techniques. Are you kidding me? Pardon?
Where did Keck go?
He'll come back. He keeps getting kicked out. I don't know. I think it's fine.
So Jason, I'm surprised you haven't said anything about my upside down freedom flag.
I didn't want to say anything because right now I'm feeling a bit disgusted. But why did you do that?
That actually made it into the newspaper. The very first time Trudeau was here, we were chasing him around.
Yes.
And I screamed at Justin Trudeau that he was a murderer, and his security guys tried to take my picture, and I threw it up in front of my face, and apparently my flag made the newspaper.
Oh, wow. Good. Interesting.
A friend sent me the article, and I went, oh my God.
Well, Jason, I think you can relate because the Bill of Rights protects Anne's right to do that and to feel that way. And to
Absolutely.
Well, I feel our country is in distress. That's why my flag's upside down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I get it.
So, and mine are sideways because sometimes my head's the right way. I look like I had movement.
So I wonder what Keck wanted to talk about. I sent him some pictures. I sent him the video from Delbert in Alberta.
I really hope Keck is not feeling intimidated already by you, Ann, that he's afraid maybe he can't hold water in this debate. I can't imagine he would be like that. Pardon?
Jason, Mr. Cosmic Truth, I think you're a little intimidated.
No, I'm not.
You won't even talk to me off of here. Every time I send you a message, you're like, I'm busy. I can't talk. How rude.
I'm waiting for the right time. We will be talking very soon, my dear. Don't you worry.
Don't make me come out there.
Welcome back, Keck.
Yeah, I've been under the weather too. Can't you tell?
Oh, that's not good. How's your back?
It's getting better, thank you. But I need a massage.
Well, I can come out there and do that for you.
That'd be wonderful.
Oh,
Keck,
why don't you guys get in the room? Hey, Keck,
Keck is
welcome back.
back in the room. Keck, what did you want to talk about? You said you had a picture you want to talk about.
I want to know what the show is going to be going forward. My understanding was we were going to do Kevin J. Johnson next, and I had every reason to believe that me and Cosmic was going to explain to us why Vladislav Sobolev is a Russian spy or something.
Okay, if you want to talk about that.
Controlled opposition.
Do you have proof of that, though?
No, he doesn't. That's why I want to have the discussion.
I was called controlled opposition. Like, give me a fucking
So
break.
was I. So was Jason. So was Keck, apparently. We're all opposition because...
And he's sticking up for their sorry asses, and they're calling in
according to Stefanos, we're all opposition.
Yeah.
And they don't ask for donations, and they're not scammers, but the rest of us are. How can we be scammers when we don't ask for money?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So, Keck, you said you had a picture you wanted to talk about.
What I said was the following week is going to be Vladislav Sobolev, and I got silence from the other two. So I'm not wrong in assuming that that's what I should be preparing for.
Oh, no, you wanted to.
What? You're talking about episode 2. Let's talk about episode 1.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we don't know. You mentioned that you had several guests, right?
I have people lined up that want to chat about Kevin, yeah. But that's
it's all about Kevin J. Johnson?
No, and others. I'm not saying who right now. Pat King, Chris Guy. There's a number of them.
Yes.
Right.
Can I just give you the list and tell me if I missed something?
Okay.
Henry Hildebrand, Kevin J. Johnson, Vladislav Sobolev, Kellyanne Wolf, Pat King, and the pastor from out Ann's Way, Plowski.
Yeah.
Yep. Did I run down the list? Did I miss any names?
Yeah, you missed a few.
Let's hear them.
But that's for my documentary anyway. Don't worry about it. You'll find out who they are.
No, in terms of this
When's your
podcast.
documentary coming out, Elle?
I'm working at it now. It's going to be a while, but I'm working to edit. It's an editing nightmare, truthfully, but it's worth doing. But I may have to do a section on each person because I got so much on each person.
Oh, I know. And thanks to me, you got a lot more. Sorry.
Yeah. I actually did. So it's going to be probably a 5, 6, 7 part documentary.
All right.
Sounds pretty intense.
And
so, Elle.
Go ahead.
So when were you on Kevin J. Johnston's show?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
I set up all his shows. I don't think I ever reached out to you to be on his show.
No, I've never been on his show ever. I know, nor would I. I don't want it.
But yet you've been on his show.
Apparently, he admitted I was because right when Stefanos was saying it, Kevin went, "Yeah, okay, well, I gotta go now," because he knows he just fucking lied. And he took off and left the stream, and then Stefanos carried on like, "Yeah, I helped."
Oh, that's why Kevin left. I didn't know why.
Yeah. So through a friend, I found out that I'm not the Ellie he was talking about because he was 12 years old when he helped.
But he's never had an Ellie on his show ever.
No, probably not.
Weird.
He probably told Stefanos that though.
So, Kat, you said you had a picture you want to talk about.
What I said was, are we going to do Vladislav Sobolev? Because the second before we started this live stream, Al, You told us that you don't want to go down this road. Now you're telling us that you do want to go down this road.
I'm just saying I don't want to throw things out there that we can't defend, that we don't have some proof about. Like, just I don't want conjecture. I want fact. And just, everyone's calling everyone controlled opposition. That word's getting ruined too, and that's a plan. Let me tell you, people are out to ruin that word because it's dangerous. Personally, I don't think Henry Hildebrandt and fucking Poslowski are controlled opposition. I think they're opportunists. They're religious opportunists. Henry Hildebrandt's been using this movement to grow his church. He didn't give a fuck about our freedoms, or fucking anything else.
No,
why can't he be both?
He's got his own community. Why the fuck would he care about ours?
Yeah, that was a brilliant point, Ellie. And as Keck said, why can't he be both? And personally, I think he's both, but we don't have to get into that in a big way today. I'm not going to get into Vlad today because I'm not feeling that.
We're not going to get into Vlad today. We haven't even determined if we're going to get into him in the future.
Okay.
Oh, no, we need to get into all of them, obviously.
Yeah.
In the future, we need to get into all of them.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate Ellie's perspective and facts that, we got to bring awareness of some of these scammers. We don't want Canadians, not that we're all self-righteous, but we don't want Canadians wasting their money on giving to these people when they've been proven to be scammers, and then they have agendas of just making money. And I think you made a good point with Henry Hillebrandt. People have to make up their own mind. Ultimately, do you really want to give money to these people? Just think about it,
Well, he said at a rally, he said to all the preachers out there, if you want to grow your church, open your doors. He goes, I did. I went from 200 members to 800 members. That was last year. Where's his church at now? He's got a cult going. Okay. That is the cult. Yeah. And I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying that they are a cult. He tells them how to dress, what to drive. They can't have internet, all this different stuff. They are a cult, right? They are under his control. So he's got agendas. He doesn't give a fuck about our freedoms. That's why he has his own little community to get away from ours.
Yeah, they don't they don't give a shit about our freedoms. That's
doesn't give a shit about us at all. Period. We're nothing but people he uses. And I think in a way, Pawlowski has done the same thing. He's profited greatly from all this.
Oh, you bet he has. Like, look at all the time he spent in the United States.
They both work through Rebel News.
Okay? Yes.
Think about red flags. Too. Think about how much Rebel News picks up. When his loan got called by the bank, within 2 days, he had $360,000 or $380,000 donated to him to save his ass.
What? Oh my God!
How much did he need?
That guy with the barbecue place. That guy with the barbecue place. What's his name?
Adam.
Adam Scully.
Adam Scully. Yeah, Scully. He got like 140 grand in donations, or over 200 grand. It was about 140, I think.
At least
the lawyers' fees that I doubt he ever paid that much for his lawyers. And these people all get rich.
Yeah, and they're going. Adam's going back into court next week. Ellie, one of the guys on the live Facebook was describing that he's involved in the court case. So there'll be more money made. And Rocco Galati, he's another one that, in the end, as Jane says, Rocco will win because he's going to have a hell of a lot of money. He doesn't give a shit about our freedoms. I don't think I.
Yeah, as a fellow Italian, I don't want to run him down, but Rocco is charging fucking people a fortune.
Yeah, $350,000 retainer fee. I think.
Yeah, it's taking a couple of years to get into court. And by that time, that shit's not an issue anymore. So really, he knows that, and he's sucking people dry, and I hate seeing that.
And again, Rocco will never even read off the John Diefenbaker quote. Rocco will not respect people that have sacrificed their lives, shedding their blood so that we can have an amazing, miraculous piece of legislation like the Canadian Bill of Rights, as you know, to come into fruition to help us recognize our human rights and protect our fundamental freedoms. So Rocco's completely mum on the Canadian Bill of Rights. He's a charter boy, and that is huge red flags there too. And more people looking up.
I like David Dixon. David Dixon actually gets through into court in a couple of months. Now, mind you, he didn't get the answers he was hoping to get, or the solution he was trying to get, but he's going to fight on. but at least he's getting shit done. He's not just talking about it. And I've never heard him say, well, would please send me money. Never, ever.
Good. Good.
That man's a fucking patriot, and he's an ex-cop. And he's the one that works with the angry Albertan. I can't remember his name.
I was just thinking of the angry Albertan right now.
Yeah, he's, like I said, that whole crew is very solid. And they were being attacked by the Kellyanne Sky crew and constantly, heckled. And, that's divisive that I was talking about.
Well, that's what, as you know, controlled opposition are known for, to create divisiveness. And I would apologize if I think that I'm creating all kinds of divisiveness and it's not worth bringing up some people that I believe is controlled opposition. I don't want to create divisiveness, but I think, again, it is important to discuss these issues and other agendas that they may have, like the money issue, like you said,
Yeah, but you can't, if someone's going to say, I think this person's controlled opposition, and all they have to back it is, well, that's just what I think.
You try to connect the dots. Exactly.
Yeah. I want exactly like, I just don't want to be a speculation channel. I mean, there is controlled opposition. There's a lot of controlled opposition in this.
80%, Ellie, I found out, research shows throughout history, guys, 80% of the leadership of any movement is controlled opposition. Think about that, 80%. And I believe it. I mean, you're seeing it, as you know, so much in Canada, unfortunately, or we would have had this powerful grassroots movement. We would have crushed the establishment already, which is a great news, showing that the effect that you truthers have out there.
Yeah.
So thank you.
There's a lot of good people on the circuit, man. But go ahead.
Yes, there are.
So, Kak, what did you think of my video?
I think that I agree with Cosmic that 80% of movements throughout history, you have to be controlled of, you have to be aware of controlled opposition. I also agree, you mentioned in a previous episode, that pastors are the way to do it. I agree that we have to, that it's not above the pale or creating division if our special little project is to look into that. Do you two agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So in response to what you were saying, you don't want misinformation, and oh boy, you mentioned, for instance, that you don't really know much about Kelly or Vlad.
I'm still we're investigating into them for their part in the documentary. I know
you're not confident enough to make any claims.
I don't know enough to say she's controlled opposition. I think she's one of Chris Guy's suckers. He grabs people like her. She's a known addict. She's constantly running and getting arrested and all this other stuff and making
arrested for what?
Being at rallies and stuff. Then they all drag her off the stage. And
I didn't know that she was getting arrested at rallies. Yeah, she's an awful person.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that she is making a ton of money doing it. And she's creating division. She's switching like a chameleon from one group to another. I'm still trying to figure out who this Benita person is. Is that Kellyanne Wolf?
No, that's totally somebody else in Edmonton that's running the Edmonton Freedom Central. I'm
still centering you. Okay, I'm still getting.
I'm on their Facebook page.
I bet you are, Kek. I bet you're the number one fan.
Oh, Ali Boita isn't that the girl that the angry Albertan just completely lost it on that Boita?
Yeah.
Okay.
The day that Chris Guy was out there.
Chris was there 1 week. He was there 1 week because David Dix was talking to him right from the podium. Right. I have that video. It's going in my documentary. Little parts of it, but
So, Kek.
Am I talking?
Yeah.
Kek, what do you think of the video?
So one of the things that we haven't discussed yet is channel sharing. If we're going to do this and we're all going to be on the same page, Elle, you have a ridiculously larger platform than mine and Jason's combined.
I'm ridiculously interesting. I can't help that.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. That's got to be it, Elle. No,
I
actually,
love
no.
it,
You do put on a good quality product, so
Oh,
I will
love
give you
it.
that.
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, between my YouTube, if I put this up on my BitChute and my YouTube, and Cosmic does the same. Now I want to edit. I want to start editing and put out a show, right? But yeah, if I put it up on my BitChute and my YouTube, if Cosmic puts it on his Rumble and his BitChute, and if you put it on just your BitChute,
I'd probably lose half my subs.
we can
We're all
count on
Chris
each other all
fans.
week. Say again?
I'd probably lose half my subs because they're all Chris Sky fans. They bitch and whine when I put videos like that up.
Oh, I put out a Chris Sky video. Yeah, guaranteed I'll get subs. Right? I
Oh
can't.
no, I lose.
Now,
subs.
again, a lot of those people that click on Chris Sky, it's because they hate him too. Don't get me wrong.
Well, he seems to have a following anyway. And look, I can put it on. My
He
BitChute.
absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just
hopefully
haven't put the
that'll
last
come
stream
down
up yet
soon.
because I had to get. I have to convert them. My software will not accept Facebook's translation of a video, so I got to put it through a converter to put it, and then put it into my Corel. So it's a lot of work.
I don't understand what you just said.
Okay, my video software does not like the way Facebook formats videos, so
Okay.
they come through with no sound. So I have to convert them through my ABC, which is any video converter, to another MP4 file, a customized one, that my Corel will then accept and play normally
Okay.
with audio. So it's a lot more work for me to get like these streams downloaded and then converted and then run through my software, which makes them huge, like 12, 13 gigabyte files just for one video. Seriously. And then I have to upload it to Rumble and then download it, a smaller version of it. So
A lot of work.
Yeah.
I want to do a music reaction in your studio one day, Ellie, please.
I want to know what Kev thinks about my video.
Okay.
I'm sorry I got sidetracked. I just getting a private message.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to assume, Derek, that you are not. I'm not. This isn't some secretive thing, but
No.
and I don't have. Oh, shit, I'm trying to read this and talk to you at the same time. Well, okay, I will address what he wrote me. Is are you guys trying to run a smear campaign? Is Derek in the chat right now?
Who is this coming
Derek
from?
Derek.
I would answer
Derek
we're
Story.
running
Story?
Yes.
No, he's
We're
not in
running
the
the
chat.
truth.
Yeah, I didn't send him. No, we're not running.
Okay,
running the
Derek, I'm going to
truth
assume that
campaign.
wasn't super secret of what you asked me.
But Derek's
and
stories is
Can
in
I answer
jail
his
right
question?
now.
Since it what?
I have not said a word about him. In fact, in my video, I said, Derek and Ed, this is not about you. This is about Stefanos.
Nobody's
and
said anything
fucking
derogatory about Derek.
How
not a
are you?
word.
Are you getting a message from Derek right now?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. He
he's-
might be in the
he's
chat.
accusing
He
us
might
of
be
running a
watching right
smear
now.
campaign.
But from my understanding, Derek is in jail.
No,
Why
I
would he be in
didn't- I
jail?
didn't say he was in jail.
Well, on Friday's show, somebody messaged me that Kevin was in jail for his weekend and that Derek went to jail too for some warrants. I'm confused.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
News to
I
me.
don't
And
know
if
if Kevin
Derek's
does
story,
weekends.
is watching, Derek, we're not running a smear campaign. We're telling the truth about a lot of people.
That your name has not even really come up, truthfully.
Yeah, we
And
don't
when I
care
did my
about
video,
you.
I excluded you and Ed. I had no problem with you and Ed. It was just with what Stefanos and Kevin J. Johnson said, that I was on his stream, which I was never, and that I helped Stefanos, which I had never.
Like,
So-
is he
Yeah, he's in the
making
comment
comments?
section. He says that I'm not in jail. And it's
Oh,
not-
okay.
Right.
He is. He's with us.
Yeah, he's commenting in the in the thread here, and it said missing fingerprints. I don't know what that means. All I know is that it's Derek. We have not mentioned you in any negative way.
Derek, this has got nothing to do with you, so don't even worry about it. And I know you don't like me, but that's fine. I really don't care. And I'm going to set the record straight because Derek obviously is watching. I am not, and I mean not, stalking Kevin J. Johnston. I don't even live inside Calgary. I don't even leave my city unless I have to go to my doctor, which is up by Kevin.
And going to your doctor is not really stalking, unless it's stalking your doctor, maybe. Are you stalking your doctor?
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, that's what my only problem was with what Stefanos and Kevin J. Johnson had said. And I put that in the video I did. I don't know if you watched that, Derek, but I did a video about the misinformation said about me on Kevin J. Johnson's show. Like basically Kevin J. Johnson and friends. So at the beginning of that video, I stated Derek and Ed has nothing to do with you. Has everything to do with the other two. So I don't know who thinks we're running a smear campaign or they're just nervous or what. I don't know.
It's because I'm on here, Ellie. That's the reason they're watching now, is because you now have me on the show and they think I'm smearing Kevin, and I'm not. I have the evidence.
And as do I. Why would you have to defend yourself when you're not there? Wait, if there's not an investigation into who? What? Me? Well, I'm glad you have. And you know what? Look, I have not said anything negative about you or Ed or well, I always say negative things about Cat. But no, it wasn't about you and Ed. And even though Ed called Jason a bully, I said nothing. That had nothing to do with me. That's for Jason. But in this stream that I can remember in the last, this is episode 3, and we have not mentioned you at all. I think
Derek Story, is he not a patriot? He's a patriot, is he not?
I'm not saying he's not a patriot. I'm just saying.
All right. Hi, Derek. Hi, Derek.
And it's not a smear campaign. This is about truth, about things that are common knowledge, things that are open source information. We're bringing it to light because it's being hidden under carpets.
Yeah, and sometimes, Ellie, I know you were a little bit apprehensive of the speculation, but I think you would agree that sometimes, even on these issues, when we're delving into certain people, it's okay to speculate, I think, at least a little bit, and we're not trying to make people's minds up necessarily. We do provide, particularly you guys provide a lot of facts, and we're going to speculate on certain issues within reason, and hopefully add some entertainment that way and ignite your fertile imagination, everybody that comes on these lives. I hope I'm making sense.
Well, yeah, as long as whoever is doing it says that, in my opinion, or this is just speculation on my part, but
yeah,
then you can put it out there, right? Then you're not saying it as it's fact. You're just saying this is my opinion.
That's right.
My thought.
That's right. Otherwise, you get into legal problems. That's why sometimes I also say it's my opinion. You can add that qualifier, which is important to do sometimes. I get it. Thank you.
Yeah. I just, like I said, we're allowed to have our opinions.
Free country, man. Free country. Although I might get vaccinated, I might give in to this community insidious pressure from the government, and I want to see a football game soon, maybe next year, so I better get jabbed, double vaxxed. Not. Just kidding. Jack, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I have a lot to say.
I know.
I have a lot to say. For one of the reasons why I wanted to, well, actually, let me start with Derek, because I'm assuming he's still watching. Can I address Derek now? Can I have my turn?
Yeah, most people have exposed themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One of the things that Cosmic...
Go ahead.
Okay, go, Cat.
One of the things that Cosmic said, Derek, that I agreed with, is that 80% of people in movements throughout history have turned out to be controlled opposition. This show, we started with Kevin J. Johnson, but as I understand it, and as this panel has just, I'm assuming, validated for me, is that we're going to pick a new a character or a new influential person in the movement, and we're going to examine each person. Now, I think the reason why you're asking, am I running a smear campaign? Is that because I called Kevin J. Johnson a piece of shit? Is that because I said Kevin J. Johnson manipulates people? Right? I said a lot of things that did not come out of my mouth wrong, and if you could apologize personally to Kevin, I would appreciate it. I think it's obvious that I'm point of this show is that we look at both sides of the issue. Last week it was up to Anne and Elle, who has a history with Kevin, to lay out their cases, and then it's my job to debunk or validate what it is they're saying. Right? If this came off as a smear campaign, that's more a failing on my part than theirs.
It's conspiracy.
No, I'm just saying I'm not proud of the things that I said about Kevin while trying to stand up for Kevin.
Well, yeah, it didn't look good for Kevin.
Well, it didn't look good. It made me look like an idiot.
No,
Right?
it didn't.
It's like that guy on the Zoolander too. It's like, you're an idiot. I'm a big
kind
fan.
of like the Murdoch of the group. You're crazy.
Keck, part of you, Keck, must have believed in part what you were saying, I think, or you wouldn't have
Oh, I
said
got a list. I got a clipboard and a list in front of me of all the bullshit that was thrown at me last week about Kevin J. Johnson. But as I stated from the beginning, from the outset, one of the things that if we're going to compete, because we are going to compete with you, Derek, and we are going to put out a better show. We're just not going to be fixated on Kevin. And you only got half a clank. You only heard their side of the story, right? Next week we'll be coming back, and believe me, come back for it, Derek. You'll see that I did my homework, and I'm gonna put these people where they belong. Like, I'm gonna put
Derek?
Anne.
Go ahead.
I'm going to address the bullshit that you sent me.
Okay, and Derek,
Not
my
all of
streams
it.
are still up. You can still watch them.
But the stuff
For
I sent
yourself.
you is not bullshit.
I have a list right in front of me.
The stuff
What?
that I sent you are legit videos.
What you sent me was confirmational bias. You literally told me that Kevin J. And it's on the live stream. You can go watch it. You told me that Kevin J. Johnson hates Muslims. Based on what? Because
I
someone
never said
said
he
so?
hates Muslims.
You can go back and you can watch the live stream, and you very clearly told me that Kevin J. Johnson hates Muslims.
Well, if I said that, I am sorry. But I
Well,
know a lot more
we're-
about Kevin J. Johnston than
Then
people
we're well
think.
on our way.
I have information about the lies he told about Myanmar.
Myanmar. Are you talking
Yes.
about?
Myanmar.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the video that started with Banerjee? Ron Banerjee?
No. I don't know.
And you were in a video with Ron Banerjee, correct?
Yes, I was. I
From
was
Rise
also in
Canada?
a video with another gentleman too.
Okay, that's the video where Ron talked about Myanmar.
Yes.
Okay, what is it exactly
He
about?
has evidence. He has legit evidence that Kevin lied about Myanmar.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, and I'm gonna have to talk to you off camera about that.
Okay.
Because I don't know what the accusation is that he did. He went to Myanmar, yes. He was given a bunch of money to represent the Hindu community. Past that, I don't know where the problem lied.
Go back and watch the video.
I know I'm gonna have to, because I shouldn't have to watch the. If you know what you're talking about, you should be able to tell me what Kevin did wrong in Myanmar.
Kevin lied about Myanmar.
What was the
Ron
lie?
has all the evidence. I will have Ron send me everything, and then I will send it to you.
It'll be in my documentary, Keck.
Okay.
I already know.
But at the moment, it's nothing. At the moment, I'll get the information to you. Kind of like Lamont. You claim to have information about Lamont, but until
I do. That's going.
But
in my
until we hear
documentary.
it, the standing consensus is that Lamont is not controlled opposition.
My
correct?
video, man. Give me a friggin' break. It's called PR.
Once the video's out, but until that video comes out, there's absolutely no reason to consider that Lamont is controlled opposition. And until I get more than, well, he was just a bad person in Myanmar, I got nothing.
No, that's not even about him. That's Kevin J. Johnson. You're confusing people and situations, right? Have you been smoking something or what? Are you high?
No. This time I knew better.
Are you
Just
drinking?
No, it's just I'm trying to unpack a whole lot.
Your eyes, you look like you've been drinking, Keck. Oh, wait.
My
that's not your
eyes.
picture. Oh, sorry. That's not your picture. That's a cartoon. I forgot.
Oh, no. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, okay. Okay, what I've been saying. Go ahead.
Nothing.
All right. What I've been saying since before we went live, I've been trying to stress the same thing. One of the things that we're going to need for our show next week is we're going to need some structure, because you can't have Cosmic go and say, I just discovered that Ed is stealing babies out of people's cars. And then you said, and before I have a chance to address whether or not that's true, you go, well, it's been an hour. That's the show. That's why it's important that when we wrap up every single show, that you, me, Cosmic, the guest, we all get our 3 minutes to address whatever we've been discussing. So that way nobody is cut off in the middle of any kind of accusations.
Derek, I'm not saying Myanmar didn't happen. It did happen, but it didn't happen the way Kevin said it did.
You didn't say what happened in Myanmar. You just said that he was in Myanmar.
I'm addressing Derek's comment.
And I didn't accuse you of stealing babies out of people's cars. Just to let you know.
And I appreciate you for it, Cosmic. But at the end of the day, everybody needs to be able to say goodbye to the audience. And if it's a 1 hour show, it means we need to start wrapping up. Well, now, do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I just sent the link to somebody who wants to join us for a few minutes. His name's Rick Boswick.
Oh yeah, I'm being somewhat facetious, but at the end of the day, it's
okay.
We got 7. If we're going to make this, and we don't have to be exact today, but if we're going to make this a 1 hour show,
yeah,
we're going to have some more structure to what we're doing, rather than just going blind. Because again, I want to put out a better show than that.
Because you're talking when you should be listening.
Yeah,
we are going to arrange things prior to the stream, and I don't mean from the first few minutes before the stream. I mean days prior to, in messages or whatever, or on the phone, like whatever. Hello. Oh, here we go. We got him back here.
I got to charge my phone.
What just happened? Oh, and then Jason left. What's going on here?
I don't know. Okay, we got Keck back.
Just me and you, Al.
And there's Jason.
There's Jason again.
Hey, Jason.
Hi.
And
don't know Keck. There's Keck.
Which brings me to my next point: technical problems. Go ahead, Al.
Well, no, I sent Rick Boswick the link. He has the footage of Myanmar. I don't know a lot about it. All I know is what I'm hearing right now, and like I said about that. But
I'm not an expert on Myanmar.
Okay,
no,
I need to address this. So Derek is saying that I don't need to defend anyone. I defend the truth. If you defend the truth, why are you defending Kevin J. Johnston, who is a massive liar and a massive scammer. You say you want truth, Derek. Then tell people the truth about Kevin.
No comments?
Not yet.
I don't even see Keck there.
That's my opinion. It's not just my opinion, though, Derek. It's everybody's opinion that Kevin is a scammer. Kevin is a user.
Yes.
And it's just not Kevin. It's everybody, it seems like. We need money for this. We need money for that. We need donation for this, donation for that. But why?
He told you why.
He's got wrong. He got you arrested.
And he has a studio that costs him $226,000 a year in Arthur Pulowski's house that he doesn't tell you it's in his house. That's what he needs part of this money for. Anyway, I know it's ridiculous.
I know.
Keck, hello.
Hello. I was talking over you when everybody started to get dropped from the link. What were you saying that I was interrupting? Because I do apologize.
Who are you talking to, me or Ann?
Oh, Allie, I'm talking to you. You said, don't talk over me, Ed. Or Kek, and then you got cut off what you were about to say.
I don't remember what that was about. Yeah, that was like so yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But I invited Rick Boswick. He should be along shortly. We have to go off soon, but
well, hold on. Is that you're saying Rick Boswick's is coming on the stream?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, if he could join us. He asked if he could join us, and I said yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just waiting on him to go up.
Well,
I sent the link on Messenger. Okay, just a second.
So we're going to let this stream run a little bit longer today.
A few minutes. We'll let Rick come in and have his say.
Yeah.
He's got footage and stuff, and I'm sure Ann would like to say her piece. And so we'll let this go a little longer. I'm not keeping it to an hour.
Yeah. Well, again, we're not officially a show yet, so it's not an issue.
No, exactly. And it's just it's working up for the show.
But next week,
next week's different,
right?
And guests will have to be arranged beforehand. They won't just be able to jump in part way.
Weeks in advance. Weeks in advance.
Yeah, because we'll all have to agree on them as well, right?
So, well, there's that as well.
I only want unvaccinated people on the show, please. That's just me. That's what I'm at.
Only pure bloods.
Oh my God, that was funny, Jason. That was so funny.
That's just me, but yeah.
Oh my God, you're hilarious today.
Thank you.
So, like the purple house coat there, Keck, by the way.
Purple house coat?
That's Jason.
That's Cosmic.
Yeah, you got a purple house coat on.
But I'm not Keck.
Sorry. I'm looking
well, you look like Keck. You know, you all look alike, right?
Anybody.
You people from Hamilton, you all look alike. We can't tell you apart.
But Derek, everybody knows where the studio is. Everybody knows where Kevin lives because Kevin allowed it. Safety reasons.
Okay,
Come on,
Rick.
Derek.
Well, hello, everyone.
Wait, so is Derek still there?
Yeah, Derek is still here.
And Rick Boswick's coming on.
Section.
Hello.
Rick Boswick is here.
I have his full Myanmar. It's like 14 days. Me and Derek, when we were on the Mississauga campaign with them, spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 days when we weren't doing signage and stuff like that. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack. Because I've watched Ali. I mean, I respect Ali. I've just become aware of you, Jason, and Keck. I think I worked with a little bit in Toronto.
You were my first interview.
Worked with, really?
I started off, you were at the Yellow Vest rally in Hamilton. Remember that shit show?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I had I had maybe 5 subscribers, and I recognized you from your YouTubes, and I'm like, all giddy. I'm like, can you be my first interview? And I got an interview with you and Jason, or you and Justin
Awesome.
Long.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where, if that rings any bells.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, obviously during that time, it's just everything was so chaotic. So.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I'm not
Yeah,
offended that you don't remember me.
Yeah, I apologize.
No worries.
But so, like, look, I mean, Derek might still be on the line, and I haven't spoken to him for a while, like a year at least. Sometimes I'll share him information, news tips. But when we first met Kevin, he is a little bit, he deflates you a little bit in person from his persona online, right? And that's just to say that he tries to be so professional online. And some would say it sounds like, a barker, like a carnival barker. I mean, you can see pretty much the same way that he is in private, that he is behavior-wise when he's doing lives. So when me and Derek went out there to help him with his mayoral campaign, and this is where I want to address the whole Chris Sky bus thing. Look, this is a war like it is a war. Right, it's just not a hot war right now, or it's a deceptive war. It's a deceptive war, right? And the thing is, we see it and other people don't. And when you go full time, you get, I don't want to say you self-radicalize, but you get tired of the lack of help. I think that's where Chris Guy, and I'm not discounting possible roids. I don't know. I'm not going to comment either way on that. But
you're right about that.
When we were doing 18-hour days with Kevin, putting up signs and stuff. There are little fibs. There are fibs that people tell that make them lose credibility with you. So I'll give you some examples. When he would do his live shows on Facebook, when we were campaigning in Mississauga, he'd be talking about donate. Because it costs money to keep me and Derek in a hotel. We were sleeping on his couch cushions in his converted garage that was his studio. Okay, so just little things like that. Now I'm not going to say he's a bad man. He has a bad way of doing things sometimes. I think that when you talk about him being a user, well, really he's not. He's convincing, but you ultimately get used by the amount of offerings that you give him without I mean, and I don't know, you talk about not getting paid. We didn't get paid. Like, we volunteered, and it was an honest exchange. At the time, Sandra Solomon and him were the hottest things in town, and I was, obviously I wanted to grow my influence, so it was a trade-off. I'd have exclusive interview coverage and learn my trade a little bit more, but it was rough. And I don't think that these newcomers, Carrie and Jason, have the temperament for the trade. I was going to do a video on the Gabe's pizza incident, and then my partner said, you should wait a little bit, and it looked like the bubble bus was going to get on board, and I was like, man, that's in Ottawa, so it's footage for me. And then you see the stuff about what Jason was doing with his hand gestures and like throwing chairs, and that's not the way to do this, right?
But Rick,
Agreed.
I have a piece of paper in my possession that states that Kevin has a company and he's paying his employees $200,000. So what does that tell you?
Well,
so if Kevin is paying his employees $200,000, where's everybody's money?
Is that just by chance some information that you got from BLM that you mentioned like an episode or two ago?
No, I got this from a private investigator.
Private investigator. I don't know. How did you reach out to that person, or did they?
No, this person reached out to me.
Okay. I don't know if I'd say that's credible. Like with Anne, and with all due respect, I saw the past couple of episodes, and you're talking about, you hold up a piece of paper saying he's a white supremacist, I have proof. But were you around? Like, were you critically thinking and an activist? And did you know what was going on when M103 was coming into place, and how that was basically the end of our sovereignty, because we're for responsible migration, but they were going to give it into the hands of the UN to decide how many people and where. And Banerjee is absolutely the worst. He goes on court cases on Zoom and talks about Hindu nationalism. He harasses people. Every single event that I've ever gone to, it's Banerjee's mouth that gets us in trouble with the left.
Like when we were getting, I got this stuff from a private investigator.
And the charges that Kevin got were because they were at a liberal fundraiser with Mohammed Faqih, and Banerjee was right beside Kevin. And then Banerjee basically said, I guess you have to have raped your wives to be able to get invited into this thing or something. And then Kevin snickered and said some minor comment at the end. They were both given a deal. Banerjee paid an undisclosed amount of money and did a public apology on broadcast online. And Kevin decided to fight it. And he was the first person under the new hate speech laws, which we already have discrimination laws. But this was above and beyond, and we knew it because we knew this was one of the tentacles of the agenda.
Which was what the yellow vests were
what's
here.
What's the issue with Myanmar? How did he lie? Like, because you're saying that he lied, but I don't know the details.
I've seen the video, but like I said, I can't comment on that because
when I get all the information, I will send it to you, Kat.
I can't.
All right, and then we can unpack it next week.
Yeah. Well, it's long pending. I thought you wanted to go over this Vlad person next week or something, or part two.
Well, obviously we didn't get to Kevin J. Johnson today.
Okay, so we'll do part two. Of
We're 10 minutes over time, and we haven't even.
Well, I wanted to give Rick a chance to say what he wanted to say because it was.
Well, okay. The two other issues. I mean, let me try and fastball it. Okay, so the coffee. I have no idea. Maybe it's I giggle kind of because it would be maybe a Kevin thing, but rebranding coffee, I don't know. I can't say yes. I can't say no. Derek, I do think, Derek, if you're still listening, I do think that you are overpricing your merchandise. I understand that you need to make money. And that's what people need to understand is when you fight against the system, you become deplorable, unemployable, a simple search of your name, and you're never getting a job. Now with COVID and people who don't want to wear masks or get vaxxed, it's even harder. There is no future. So if you're going to make a future for yourself and you're going to be self-sustainable, you do need donations because it's your only source of revenue.
Really? I'm self-employed. I don't need donations.
Okay, well, what do you do on the side?
Donations.
Well, you have a business, exactly. So you're already set up fiscally.
I work in a hotel. I'm not vaxxed and I don't wear a mask. And I've never been in trouble.
Well, you're lucky because the rest of
I don't get, but you're. I mean, the only, and with all due respect, the only outspokenness I've heard from you is anti-Kevin Johnson. Do you have your own show? Do you have your own show? Do you have your own show and your own identity, your own platform? Do you have, are you attracting thousands of people to a certain topic that we need to discuss that the mainstream media is not?
People know that I don't like Kevin for what he's done.
Well, I understand that.
I don't like Chris Guy. I don't like Kellyanne Wolf. Like
Kevin. I addressed this with Kevin, and he said that there were other things, like when you talk about the hookers that Chris Guy brought, and it just the way that you said it, it seemed really nasty, like catty. And then when I talked to him, and this is obviously just what he told me, is that there were new attractive people that wanted to work on his campaign. And you started acting, I don't know.
No, you know what happened is because I was ghosted by Kevin J. Johnson because I started telling the truth about him. And because I told him that he had to get control of Logan and his temper and the way Logan talked to people.
Okay.
I didn't give a crap if Kevin brought new people in. I didn't give a crap at all. The day that he got arrested on 17th Avenue, and I spoke about this last week, the day he got arrested on 17th Avenue with Logan, and then he got out of jail, and me and him had a conversation on Tuesday, the day after he got out of jail, He said I was still in control of his campaign. I was still on his team, and everybody was going to go for lunch on Friday.
Mhm.
Derek can probably even confirm this. We were all supposed to go on to lunch on Friday. Kevin was going to let everybody know what their role was. And then the next thing I knew, I was being accused of sending people to his house in Toronto, smashing out all his windows. Then I was looking for his wife. I was looking for his children. I don't give a flying fiddlers, and excuse my language, El. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No, we're going to curb the language on this. We discussed that.
Fuck who his fucking kids are or who fucking his wife is. You damn right that I am totally against Kevin. You damn right I am. He's used people. He's abused people. He's lied to people. He's scammed people. He asked for donations. You know, he's going around telling people that I'm stalking him and things like this. Fuck, why the hell would I stalk Kevin J. Johnson? I haven't been around Kevin J. Johnson. The last conversation I had with Kevin J. Johnson was on May 1st, and I have the damn text messages to prove it.
And I was on his show.
He didn't hurt my feelings, Derek. He's a fat, stupid fucking prick.
Hey, enough! We discussed this about the language.
Sorry, I'm going to let you go because this is I don't know. It seems your biasness is overflowing. Like it's hard to have a rational conversation about whether or not the reward is worth the investment. And I mean, you don't have to buy his underwear for $500, but somebody did. Right. So if he can sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves, so be it. You don't have to donate to him. You don't have to like him. But, you know, and obviously you're hurt by what has happened. I mean, could I go around and talk about, you know, all the things and the hardships that I had during Kevin's campaign? Or, I mean, no.
You could.
Why?
You could, but we're letting Ann getting some stuff off her chest on this platform.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Right?
And the other thing too is, I mean, me and Derek have done construction for Ed on different projects. So there's no government recruiting or psyop or anything.
Good.
Stefanos I never met, but we've talked an hour and a half, sometimes for months, every single night. So, you know, I'd reserve judgment on him until I actually had a time to meet him in person because, you know, like I said, there's a big difference between people's public persona and who they are when you get to know them in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So
okay.
Anyway, take care, guys.
Before you go,
take care.
You were too late on the draw there, Keki. Went off fast.
Okay.
No, but
No
it's true. We brought in as a guest to talk about what happened with her and Kevin J. Johnson. And okay, we might have gone off the rails.
Ellie, I am, but you know, Derek just obviously has his head so far up Kevin J. Johnson's ass, it's unbelievable. I'm not hurt by what Kevin did to me. I'm hurt that he continues to do the shit that he does. I'm hurt that Chris Sky does what he does and Kellyanne Wolf does what he does. And I'm sorry if I got mad and Rick didn't like it. Oh, wham, cry me a river. You know,
well,
and
I mean,
yeah, Derek is
there's
watching.
always going to be people
really
who don't
care.
like things we say.
But people have
But
got
the
to
point
get
is
their
that
heads out of Kevin J. Johnson's ass and the rest of everybody else's ass and realize, oh my God, maybe what people are saying about Kevin and Kelly and Chris and all these other people is true.
Yeah.
Well, Derek, you know what? Why don't you turn around and, like I said, I have not spoken to Kevin J. Johnston since May 1st, and I have the text messages. And the only reason I go up into the Westbrook area, and I don't go alone, Derek, I always have somebody with me. Always, is to go see my doctor or go to Shoppers Drug Mart and pick up my prescriptions. So where Kevin is getting this idea that I'm stalking him and you get this idea that I'm stalking Kevin is ridiculous. Don't give a crap about Kevin. Don't give a crap about you, Derek. Don't give a crap about where you guys live. Don't give a crap about any of it. Don't care about Kevin's kids, his ex-wife, or anything like that. What I care about is people scamming people for money. Why don't you get out and get a real job?
I guess because people make so much money online. I don't. I had to go out and get a real job.
Why can't you, Derek? I've got a real job.
Well, yeah, but like I said, some people choose to do this online because that's what they're good at, is begging for money all the time. So, but the main thing is that Kevin does it to the point of ridiculousness, and I'm not saying Derek and Stefanos or anyone else do, but Kevin himself, if you listen to him talk, every 2 minutes he throws in there, well, if you can donate for this and donate for that, and I need money, it's really expensive to do this and expensive to do that. Like, you could take one episode and probably group together about 50 times where he says, donate to me, give me money, donate to freedom.ca and all this other fucking shit. So that's
Ellie,
my
this is what I'm not understanding, is why is Derek, defending Kevin so bad when, like you said, every couple of sentences from Kevin is, please donate, please donate, please donate.
And then he's trying to sell cryptocurrency when the whole fucking market's about to reset and everyone's going to lose everything, right? So he's trying,
which is why he's talking about cryptocurrency.
What? He's getting people to buy it at a time it's going to crash. That's kind of foolish.
That's your opinion.
Well, okay. No, it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right, Al. Everybody invest in Canadian dollar bills.
I'm not telling anyone that.
Nothing's safer in a time of crisis than fiat currency. History has shown that, right, Al?
What's that?
I said history has shown if there's ever a crisis or an economic breakdown within a country, history has shown us that where you want to put your money is in the fiat currency, correct?
Not me.
Canadian dollars are the Canadian dollar. Justin Trudeau gave away all our gold, so our currency is currently backed by literally nothing.
Nothing. Harper.
So to put your money in Bitcoin might be an opportunity, and I watched what you're talking about, and I mean he put time into investing, to informing people so they can make their own decisions.
Who? Mike Adams?
No, Kevin Johnson.
Fuck. Okay.
I didn't watch it all the way through, but I did watch his Bitcoin.
He knows what's going on with Bitcoin, and it's gonna fucking crash. The whole fucking lot of it. That's the only way they're gonna be able to secure it for future. Okay? It's gonna fucking reset. They're using the word reset. Check, everyone's gonna lose all their fucking shit unless they sell all their currency now.
And buy silver?
You can buy is silver, because it always keeps its value. Gold is up and down the scale like crazy, but silver always keeps its value. So that's
not going to argue that.
Food and water are safe commodities because you can use those to barter with. Ammunition and guns for those in that world are a major commodity right now. Okay. So understand something. There's a lot more to prepping than just, stocking your cupboards. There's a lot to think about, and having all your money in the banking system right now when a crash is imminent, and even all the mainstream analysts are saying it's going to crash. It's going to crash. They're telling you. But I've known this for like 8 years. Just didn't know when. But I knew what their plan was to crash and bring in a new currency called the Phoenix money system, called digital. There will be no more money. No more cash.
No, we're going to do cash. We're going to take Catherine Austin Fitz's advice, and we're going to do cash on Fridays. And she says that'll fuck up the whole system.
Yep, I agree.
Right? Yeah. All right. I want to hire you as my investment portfolio strategist, Ellie, but unfortunately, I don't have a pot to piss in right now.
Yeah, you couldn't afford me.
No, I bet I couldn't.
I tried telling my boss he couldn't afford me either, and he laughed at me. So anyway, but truthfully, I don't want to start flinging mud around. But the point is that if you have personal issues with Kevin, and I've had personal problems with Kevin, Rick, you were at that fucking Canada Day celebration. So was Derek Story. So was Dan Dix. So was everybody. What's Up Canada? Wayne Peters was there. I interviewed him.
What did they do? What did they accomplish that day? Yes.
Well, that was when Montreal actually came over and joined us, and it was amazing when they got there, the energy they brought.
All
It
right.
was basically the first big Canada Day anti-lockdown protest, right? And
Yeah.
so, like I say, when Quebec got there, the shit got really lively. It was like amazing, the energy they brought. I was so impressed. But that, we were all there. Laurel Tyler Thompson was there. And so was fucking Kevin. And that's when he came up and he backstabbed me. He shook my hand and then he fucking used me. And then the next day on fucking Laurel and Tyler Thompson's show, he goes, transgenders aren't real. They're just doing it for attention. Fuck you, Kevin.
Really?
So that's
I've heard Laura Lynn Thompson. I've heard from a few sources that she's controlled opposition. Do you have any thoughts on that, Ellie?
I've heard it, but I've yet to see any proof of it. I got a video that I'm looking into, but I haven't gotten to look up that organization they're all hooked up with because it's called Global something. And whenever something's called Global something, I get worried.
Yes.
And it involves a lot of people. Sorry, it involves a lot of people, but anyway, go ahead.
I was told that, and I don't know, I don't think you told me this, but I believe, I won't say who told me, but that Arthur Pulowski, and I think Henry Hillebrand, I'm not positive about Henry, but for sure Arthur Pulowski and somebody else are on something democracy, some board for this democracy. It's some fund. Do you know anything about it, or I'm butchering it a little bit? But okay,
no,
I'll have to investigate that. But anyway,
I'm looking into it. But yeah, Rick Boswick made a good point. Norman Travers, he's another one who walked away with a fucking shitload of cash. Right. So I mean, there's a lot of people we got to look at, and to see if they were just greedy fucking people or were they controlled opposition.
Sure, there's a mix. Absolutely, there's a mixed bag, as we know, in this movement. Unfortunately, of both, as you know, at times the greedy ones taking advantage, scammers, and then people that are even more insidious that are used.
Yeah, but it's the ones who claim to be the leaders that I'm worried about.
That's right. That's right.
Those are the ones who are self-professed. None of us said, "Will you be our fucking leader?" And if they'd have said that to Chris Sky, I'd have walked away from the movement right then and there.
Yeah,
Hey,
like I walked away from Yellow Vests because he let BLM come and fucking protest with the anti-lockdown protesters. That piece of crap.
Hey,
what's your
Ellie,
Yeah.
Derek wants to be on your next show.
No, we'll have to wait a few shows for that because we start the show next week. This is just a
promote the show,
and
we're going to start with Kevin J. Johnson. Are we not?
Yeah, but I would like to have Rick on or Derek on at some point, and I like to have Rick back. I like to have. I don't know about Kevin J. Johnson because he's just a lying fuck. He'll just sit here and lie, and then he'll use my show to get fucking donations.
But Kevin's going to jail again in January, so he's not going to be.
Yeah, true. But no, I don't want him on my show. But I have no problem with Derek coming on. At some point, right? Not right now. I have to. This one we're gonna have to end because I gotta go pee. But no, I will start the show next week, and we'll see where it goes. So it's Keck and Jason and myself as the Odd Squad. Are they the Canadian Misfits or was
no?
it,
Well, how about we're the Odd Squad until we come up with a better name?
Okay, I'll make an Odd Squad picture.
Canadian Misfits has a nice ring to it too.
Jason,
anyway,
you're gonna video chat with me today, buddy boy.
Are you talking to Jason or me?
Yeah, Jason.
I got a few bones to pick with Jason live after this.
No, she's
Oh,
talking to
we
you.
got a doozy of a conversation coming ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Well, next week it's three of us, so we're gonna have to organize prior to.
Oh, Anne's coming back next week, right?
Well, Anne will be back, but
she's going to be our first special guest. Am I wrong?
Yeah, as a guest, yes. But I want her to.
I said special guest.
Organize what she wants to talk about and what she wants to show, and I can show it.
I thought we were going to go over that pile of information that she gave me.
Well, you can do that privately with her.
Well, I thought that was the entire point of going live today.
What? Well, you didn't want to do battle because you weren't prepared, you said.
No, that's not what I said. I said we are not prepared.
So we will get prepared and I'll battle you, Keck.
Okay, so the first episode of the Odd Squad will feature the Battle of the Bulge. The battle between Keck and Ann, and then Jason and I will get in whenever we can. And
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
poor Jason. I want to apologize,
know.
Jason. This is getting.
Jason, sorry, man. You haven't had
Jason's
much time
sick
today.
anyways.
So, have a good night, guys. Still
Whoa,
have
are you
fun.
leaving? Hold on, Jason.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up, aren't we?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
wrapping. Yeah,
Wrap
Okay.
it up.
So we're not going to talk backstage today, correct?
not today. No. We're
Okay.
gonna talk in the
So that
PM
we're
message.
not going through this next week. You, me, and Jason should have a private conversation so that we can iron this stuff out rather than, like already. I'm saying, like, already we're disagreeing on what next week's show should be.
No, you
No,
said
you just
Kevin
said
J.
what it
Johnson,
was.
part 2. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't want Derek on that one.
Not that one. No.
Okay, but there are things we're going to
Because
need to
he's
discuss. Do you agree?
biased in favor of Kevin J. Johnson. Why would we do that?
I'm in favor of Kevin J. Johnson.
Yeah, but you're the show's adversary. You're
Yeah, I'm the Views version of McCain.
No, you're our version of Murdoch from the A Team. And you're
That
Mr. T. Hey,
I
suck
wanted
up.
to be him when I was in grade 6.
Ooh,
And
Mr.
I'm
T.
So I'm not
just a lousy
insulted.
Calgarian.
Oh, Murdoch. Okay, good.
Murdoch had
Yeah,
a
we'll have
Pac-Man
Derek
machine
on
in
at
his
some point.
bedroom.
We'll have Derek on at some point. I have no problem having him on. It's just that show, no.
Okay, well,
Because he's
so
biased
next
in
week
favor.
it'll be me and Ann go at it, and then the next week that gives Jason a full week. Jason, are you still there?
Yep.
That gives you a week to decide whether or not you want to get into the mud with me about Vladislav Sobolev, or whether or not you're going to drop it. It's one or the other. You got to pick a lane. You either
If
need to
I-
drop it with Vladislav, or you need to come prepared the week after.
Oh, I have plans for Vlad in front of live audience. But that's another
And I guess
story.
that will be our second show. And then the
Okay.
third show, can I make a recommendation?
Yeah, hurry up.
Just a
I gotta
recommendation. Your buddy Smith, Donald Smith.
Okay.
He would be the perfect host when we get to Pat King.
Okay. Will do.
But okay, we're going to wrap this up. But we agree
Yeah.
that we're going to
Yeah.
have a conversation through the week.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, everybody. I gotta go.
I'll
Have a
video
great
chat
night.
you in a
Thank
minute,
you.
Jason.
Yes, Ann. God bless you
Jason,
all.
you better
Bye,
run high,
guys.
buddy. Okay, later. Okay, everybody. I'm closing out here, and we'll start next Sunday at 3 p.m. And yes, Derek, we will have you on. It's just that particular episode is there's not going to be room for it because Ann and Keck are going to be going at it, and I want to watch that. It's going to be entertaining. So hopefully they get their stories all figured out. Anyway, thank everyone for participating. I haven't had a chance to really say everything to everybody, but and thanks for everyone who watches this after. And come and join us next week at 3 p.m. Sunday for the Odd Squad first episode. Bye.